Hey, what's going on, Hoya Nation? J Street Sports is back with another one. Um, Coming to talk about the things that have been happening over the last few weeks with the Hoyas. Um, we got a big game to talk about. Georgetown defeating Maryland in the Alumni Classic. Also, we got to talk about a little bit more about the Georgetown getting a little bit closer, I think, on a couple recruits. So we're going to speak a little bit about that. Um, but we definitely want to talk about what's going on as far as with the alumni game. Georgetown went out there and dominated. Um, Henry Sims looked like a total beast out there. And don't get me wrong, Henry Sims is a good player. First 3 years at Georgetown, it was kind of like, he was trying to find his way. He played behind Greg Monroe. So he wasn't asked to do a lot until his senior season. And he looked like a total different player. Parlayed that into a career where he played with the Sixers and a couple teams. And now he's playing overseas. Well, he dominated. He put on a great performance. Devontae Smith-Rivera, same as usual. Hit buckets and get buckets. So Devontae did a real good job out there. I think he hit 5 or 6 3-pointers. Same as usual. That's what he was doing when he was at Georgetown and when he left Georgetown. Little surprised that he didn't get quite the look. I guess he was more of a tweener, but now it seems like, if you can hit buckets, being a tweener don't really mean nothing. So, maybe he was just a couple years too early because he can straight up shoot the ball, man, coming out of Indianapolis, Indiana. So also, Also, that was my partner in crime right there. So anyway, also we got to talk about what's going to happen in regards to some of these recruits. Georgetown got some good, feedback from the high school team out in California in regards to Coach Crouch. They're real high on Coach Crouch, which is cool. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what he can bring because he's someone that's very, very admired with not just the kids, but also the high school coaches. He know how to, he's real good at handling the ball, dribbling skills and things of that nature, and just straight skill development. Which, believe it or not, I think that's the wave that a lot of schools and even pro, they're going to be getting more guys that are in those skill development to come in and teach things. Also, shout out to my boy that's coaching with Sacramento, Rico Hines. I'm waiting for him to get his head coaching job. Sam Cassell, either one of those guys, man. Talking about skill development, they are ultimate skill development and play the game at the highest level, especially Sam Cassell as far as going to the All-Star game, I think once, but winning NBA championships and being a contributor. Also playing almost 20 years. Rico, I know, went to UCLA and just been a part of development, just things like that. But, so we're going to definitely talk about a little bit more about that. I like to see guys that are able to, develop and get players ready for the next level, but also the guys that can put high school players into the college ranks. They're very important too. You got to be careful with those guys as well, because sometimes, they got other motives, but hey, everybody got motives now. Hold on a second here, people. Okay. And anyway, back to that. So it's real good to get coaches in there that can develop. Also, Nickelberry. Not only can Nickelberry coach, definitely a great defensive coach, but also Nickelberry can recruit, as we have been seeing here lately. He's in the mix for everybody, all big name, which is something new, with Georgetown as far as being in the mix for all those 5 stars. Although it seemed like we could get, we could get in there, but we just couldn't close the door. And Nickelberry has closed the door with Marvel Allen and hopefully with Miranda and some of the guys that are coming, 23 guys and 24 guys. Hopefully he can close the door with some of those guys. It will definitely help Patrick Ewing as he coming into this pivotal season where we got to produce wins. Definitely need W's this year. And we got a good squad coming this year. I like it. I like the team a lot. I like Denver England. I think he'll be able to come in and knock down a lot of jump shots, and which is what we need. Because last year, weren't real consistent shooting or doing anything. Defense, nothing. Also, I want to talk about Dante Bass. Going through a tragedy this week where his family house had burned down, but they had put up a GoFundMe page, and I believe that he had, as of a day or two ago, they had raised like $20,000. So that's a blessing, man. Through that tragic moment of losing your house in a flood or fire, which theirs were fire. Anytime you lose your home, and you got children and things like that, man, it's tough. But Hoya Nation has been on it when it happened, man, and they just have, showed out, and they have really been given. So it was a lot of money, that they have raised, and let's keep raising more, right? Also, we're gonna go ahead and start talking about the Dog Talk versus Maryland, and the final score was Georgetown won 117 to 91. Devontae Smith Rivera got the MVP of the game. I knew it was going to be between him and Henry Sims. It was a lot of familiar faces out there, though, guys. It was Melo Trimble from Maryland, Anthony Coward, James Gist, Byron Mouton. Those were the Maryland guys. Georgetown had Chris Wright. Definitely remember Chris Wright. Devontae Smith Rivera, Aaron Bowen, Henry Sims, Greg Monroe, and we definitely know Greg Monroe had played with the Bucks this year, so he got a little bit of run with the NBA. Also, Greg Winnington was on the bench. He was injured. He's actually been injured a lot over the last couple of years because when he had signed with Denver, he was on a 10-day, and then they signed him on to the full squad, but he could never get back healthy. He had a knee issue. That was after burning the courts up over in Australia. Did real good in Australia. But yeah. So back to the game. So Georgetown pretty much dominated from pillar to post in this game. I was expecting it might be a blowout because Georgetown guys look to be in a little better shape. I'm not saying that the Maryland guys weren't actively playing basketball, but it just seemed like they was just in, Georgetown guys were just in better shape. Also, each player that participated earned $2,500 for participating in the game. And that was by Kareem Rush. And we remember Kareem Rush played at Missouri, also played in the NBA. Well, he was the organizer of this league. He created this, you know. And DeJuan Summers, let's talk about him. He had a big season in the Big Three. So that's probably might be the reason why he wasn't in this game, because, you know, naturally we would have had a guy like that, I think, would have been in the game. Someone that's still active. And from the Big Three, he looked like almost the MVP of the Big Three, the way that he dominated the Big Three this year. All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, so they was talking about how it was some hidden potential with some of the guys, that some of these guys are, you know, could probably still, you know, play in the league. Rodney Pryor also played in that game, and he still got some ups, and he's a real explosive player to this day. And sometimes, well, you know, the NBA has their pick and choose of different guys that they give opportunities to. Here now, it seemed like a guy that they feel is a smart player, or a guy that can shoot the three, you know, a catch and shoot guy. But a guy like Rodney Pryor, I'm shocked hasn't got a look in the NBA, because, you know, I know that he burning up the league over in Europe because he's a natural scorer. Also, he got good size. He come in like 6'5". He can defend, and I'm just, you know, just shocked that he hasn't got a real opportunity. We know about Chris Wright. He had a cup of coffee in Dallas, but he made it to the league. Real good, solid player. First time I seen Chris Wright play was right in some All-Star game. He had signed with NC State. So I was taking a look at him because at the time I was living in Raleigh. So I know he was someone that they were looking forward to. But when Herb Sendak left, that's when Georgetown jumped in. But Chris Wright, you know, it was fresh off of going to the tournament, the $1 million tournament on ESPN. His team got to the finals. I think he played for Autism. They lost to the squad that was representing the University of Buffalo. Buffalo players. They won the championship. So Chris Wright had a good run in that. So he was fresh off it, as a matter of fact, because we're a couple weeks from it, because it was a couple weeks ago. So he had played in the game, and he made way there, you know. And it was real good, man. Real good about Chris Wright getting there. Also, man, we want to touch a little bit more on, you know, what Maryland got coming in. I see people are real excited because they got the kid Jamie Kaiser. And normally this is Georgetown, but I will talk about that because Georgetown had got in on this kid a little late. I think, well, Maryland definitely had to get in late as well because they had changed coaches. But for some reason, this guy stopped just blossom. I mean, it bloomed for, man, I mean, the last month or two, I mean, has been just astronomical. He was getting offers from all types of schools, Kansas, and I mean, the Georgetown, Michigans, the LSUs, and I mean, and just a couple months ago, I could be wrong, but I believe his biggest offer was like George Mason or someone. So it goes to show that these summer camps and the AAU tournaments, man, can change a kid's life. You know, a kid that probably just dreamed of playing at Maryland, have a good summer or a great summer. Next thing you know, he's at Maryland, he's at Georgetown, or he's at any other big school, Duke, whomever. So Jamie Kaiser definitely came through from out of the ashes. He just rose, and Did good, and now he signed with Maryland. So good luck to him, man. Bobby Bancroft had been on this kid bandwagon for the last year and a half. I'm gonna give it to him because I think the kid is out Alexandria, but he had been, I mean, talking about this kid, talking about him, tweeting about him, a lot. So um, that was a good call on him because the kid, like I said, blew up all of a sudden. So it was good. Yeah. Okay. College Park Boys. Yeah, and let's talk about Cam Ward. Cam Ward was one of the players that he's in the 25 class that Georgetown is definitely on. They're on him real hard, man. Um, Nickelberry is on him. So that's a good sign, man, because the knock was that Georgetown don't get in on these local kids early enough. So for us to be on these kids this early is something, because again, people said that we didn't get on them fast enough. Also, with Isaiah Miranda, 23, they said that a decision is looming. So he's going to be given a decision real soon, which is good, man. Miranda was someone, a few months ago, Georgetown wasn't even on, and now look at us. We right there at the end, and he got us in the last group. And you know that Miranda has always spoke about how he wanted to play with Marvin Allen in college, and now look who got Marvin Allen, and look who in the last group, Georgetown. So that goes to show. Now he got only 3 schools that he's really considering. Oregon is one of them, and UCLA. So Oregon, UCLA, and Georgetown. And we know that Oregon got a great class. KJ Evans from out of Baltimore is their big recruit. But I think that Georgetown is right there, and I think that they should be the favorite. According to their coach, Julius Van Hanslick, Miranda transferring there, and he's a guy, like I say, that loves Coach Crouch. So anytime, man, you got the high school coach that you're going to, loving your assistant coaches, that's a good sign. So I think Georgetown is in good there. And, a 7-1 hybrid player like that reminds me of Chet Holmgren. I mean, hey, man, those are the type of talents that can change a program around. I mean, yeah, Gonzaga didn't win the national championship, but as long as they keep getting guys like him, they're going to stay in the Final 8, Final 4, Sweet 16s, and everything. So these guys right here, Miranda, Marvel, those the type of guys that take your program to the next level, without question, man, without doubt. If you can get those type of kids each year, now they're going to be one and done kids, but you take a one and done to win 25 games a season, you go to Sweet 16s, and mix those guys in with a couple of veterans, and then you may have a Final Four team, you may have a national championship level team. So definitely those are the type of guys that Georgetown definitely got to keep going at, keep trying, because eventually it'll pop, and it's already popped once this summer, and we hoping that it can do it again real soon. So, and Cam Ward is like I said, it's a guy that Georgetown is high on. And look, why not go at him? Why not go at him? Because once you start getting some of these players, they all want to start to come together because guys want to do what LeBron and D Wade did and Chris Bosh. They want to play with guys that they like. I know that we be on the NIL, but something that, they're going to get the NIL either way. But I'm telling you, they want to play with guys that they like. I mean, that's usually what happened with people at work. I mean, we like the workplaces that we like the people. Because if we worked around people we didn't like, it's work. And nobody want to just go to work and hate everybody around them. So same thing with playing basketball. You like them personally, but more importantly, they like something about their game. Miranda and Marvel like each other because you got a center and you also got a point guard. So a match made in heaven. Let's see. Okay. I got a great question from one of my fans that sent out something about in regards to Sleepy Floyd. Yeah, Sleepy Floyd. Definite Georgetown guy from Gastonia, North Carolina. Anybody out there that know that was played against James Worthy in a lot of high school championship games and stuff. Yeah, Sleepy Man to me is a top 5 Georgetown player of all time. Definite top 5. I got him with Patrick Ewing and Allen Iverson, Alonzo. I mean, this guy got to be there. Went on, had a great pro career at Golden State and a couple of the stops that he had, but was a great Georgetown player. Now, he was a senior when Big Pat was, a freshman. But, hey, man, to go down to Gastonia, which is, for some of you that don't know, is outside of Charlotte. So to go there and to get him, man, was something. It was something. Also, he had stops at Houston as well as Golden State. Played in New Jersey for 1 year because they drafted him. Made an All-Star game, 1987 All-Star game. Ended his pro career averaging 13 points, 5 assists, and 1 steal. Hey, man. We're talking about royalty right there, Georgetown royalty. Don't get talked about a lot. And I understand because when Allen Iverson came, I mean, he played so long ago that a lot of people that, just didn't watch him. Let's just be honest about it. Whenever you come in at 79 and leave in 82, 83, I mean, you leave in 82, come in 78, leave in 82. I mean, you're talking about nobody hardly saw you. You got to be at least mid-50s or 50 years old to see him play. Fortunately, I saw him play a couple games at Georgetown, but I was real young. So I definitely saw his NBA career, though, especially when he was with Houston, San Antonio, and New Jersey again. So got a chance to see him at his best. And you remember that 87 Houston team had Ralph Sampson and Akeem Olajuwon. So, hey, man, he ended up playing with some other Hall of Famers. Now, I think that Sleepy is a college Hall of Famer, not a pro Hall of Famer. But, I mean, hey, man, what he did at Georgetown, one of the leading scorers ever in the school, averaged 14 points a game at Georgetown, but in the tournament averaged over 17. Averaged over 17 points at Georgetown. Averaged 19 as a junior, 19 as a sophomore, almost 17 as a senior. But we had Pat Ewing at that time. So guy came in, averaged 17 points, left as the leading scorer. Georgetown history, man. I mean, you gotta, and went to a Final Four, played in a championship game won a Big East tournament MVP, two-time NCAA All-Region, 3-time All Big East first team. I mean, so All Big East tournament. I mean, NCAA All tournament. So this guy, like I say, was a college Hall of Famer. Don't get talked about as much no more. When he go to the Georgetown games, he sit up in the front row. Not a lot of people go to him and talk. Hey, he's just a quiet guy, but he'll talk to you if you go up to him. Yeah, definite legend. Great question, Chris. Yeah. Okay. Got another question in regards to what about the career of Kevin Braswell? Well, listen, Kevin Braswell came from out of Baltimore. Had a great career. Was unsung because he ended up playing a little bit with Craig Estrick, but great career, man. I mean, Braswell could do it all. And not just that, he went on had a great career in Australia. I mean, out of Lake Clifton, one of the big time schools in Baltimore. Um, Man, he played from 98 to 2002. Played a year with my man Lee Scruggs. Hopefully, we're going to have Lee Scruggs on as well. Third team All Big East. Second team All Big East. One All Big East rookie. I mean, look, man, a Georgetown legend. Ain't no other way to put it down as far as what he did at Georgetown. I mean, the stats that he put up. I mean, he averaged 14 points and 5 assists in his career. I mean, that's great numbers, man. Especially his senior season, 14 and a half points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. I mean, and he put Georgetown on his back. Went to the Sweet 16 as well. Not talked about much. Another unsung guy. But hopefully we could get those guys back into the mix. He also is a pretty good, decent coach as well. Played in Australia forever. May go down as the greatest Australian pro player that played overseas in their history. So great question, man. Definitely want to talk about that guy. Someone that helped lead Georgetown to help Craig Estrick while he was playing. But yeah, great question though. But yeah, like I said about getting back to Miranda before the questions, that's someone I think that's gonna pop. I think that's the next big name, and I tell you, man, I tell you what, if Georgetown gets him, I mean, well, we definitely talking about maybe top 2, top 3 recruiting classes already in the nation. Getting him, he's a top 10, top 20 guy, a definite one and done guy, and I like that Pat is going for it because, I mean, look, man, there's nothing wrong with having a good 4-year player, someone that can develop. But then it comes to a point where in order to get somewhere, you're going to have to get someone that's ready made, somebody that's ready to go right now, that's ready to go ahead and just, hit a home run. We ain't trying to hit singles all day. We need a home run. And this guy is a home run. And we got to go at him. Got to. All right. Look, we're going to do this thing again next week, same time. Quite possibly it's going to be on a Saturday. Won't be on Sunday. Also, I'm going to go live again tonight. It's going to be talking about boxing. Probably going to be like 6:45. So in another hour. Thanks everybody that joined in for this 30 minutes. And I'll see you later tonight.